I don't know which is worse, the relentless filling in and paving over of our priceless wetlands or the endless mounds of trash and garbage that litter our streets and waterways. I can't stop the developers or the soulless politicians who relentlessly pave over our wild areas with never-ending development and strip malls, but I hope I can connect to regular folks like myself about the litter.
Okay, it's May the 4th, just after 10:30 in the morning, and I'm heading out here. I'm going to try my new contraption. I had a little trouble yesterday, had to make some modifications to it. This big long pole with a pool net at the end. The net's been removed and I have some mesh in place. The idea is to grab as a hook to pull out litter from trapped in the pepper trees, these Brazilian pepper trees. There's a duck over there with a bunch of babies. The pathway, we got some litter right here. I'm going to have to make a stop. The pathway, as I think you can see, hardly exists here. Pathway. The waterway, back up here, I'm going to get this one piece of litter before I go any further, is being choked off by water hyacinth. I'm really critical of water management here in Florida. Well, I'm not sure. You can see this bag right by the shoreline here on the other side of the river. You see a bag there, and this is the first time I'm using my trap, and it works beautifully. I pulled it right in, did exactly what I was wanting it to do. Okay, I'm along the shoreline here, just 10 or 12 feet from the shoreline, and I'm trying to pull through this green muck and sludge. Again, this is a problem with water quality, fertilizer runoff, and just choking the river, the Hillsborough River, with this crap. It's awful. Okay, I've gotten a few things already in here. I'm just now turning the camera on finally. I'm getting right into the nastiest, oh man, see there's stuff in there. The branches are so thick that even my pole here will be useless. In many cases, because the branches, there are just so many, they're so thick, I simply can't get in there. Turn the camera around, show you what I'm looking at right in here. There's underwater branches here. I don't know if you can see. Let me pull this thing out. Right here, you can see that underwater branch. That's the kind of stuff I have to contend with, and obviously with an inflatable boat, that's spooky. And you look all in there, big old cypress tree there. You can see litter back in there. Maybe, I'm not sure if you can see it. There's plastic water bottles, the bane of modern society. And getting in here would just be really nasty because I can get snagged and possibly not be able to back out. I think I'm going to just give this whole shoreline up here. It's just too dense with pepper trees. I'm going to have to come back here when there's a drought and the water levels are down, and I can walk through this. I can pull my kayak up and just ground it and walk through with my waders and clean this area up, and that may be perhaps later in the year or even next year. Anyway, I think what I'm going to do is go back into the boat ramp and put my big long pole away here, which is a real pain to try to keep it on the boat so it doesn't fall off. It's so long. And then I'm going to go do some bird hunting and take some pictures. I thought I'd give you a close-up of what this sledge looks like here on the surface of the water here in the Hillsborough River. I'm just going to use my hands. This stuff, gooey, slimy sledge. And I should tell you that it's full of leeches. So when I get in with my boat, I turn it over, there are leeches crawling on the bottom of my boat because of all this excess vegetation. So anyone who thinks about swimming in a river here in Florida better have second thoughts, or better check your body real well when you get out. Beneath the sledge there's string plants. They're like aquarium plants. I think it's probably an acarus or something related to that. I don't know what the technical term is. And I actually use this stuff in my own aquarium at home with my turtles. I go out to the middle of the river where this stuff comes all the way up in the bottom, and it's less likely to be polluted with mosquito larvae or leeches and other kinds of aquatic critters. And I take it home and rinse it really, really well and use it in my aquarium. But you can see the slime and scum growing on this river. Oh boy, and the folks who have the power to stop this won't do it. Kind of sad. Okay, let's get it in to shore here and put this big long pole away, which is a pain in the butt, and go do some photography. Okay, now I got rid of my big long pole. Also gives a better view out the front here. And I'm coming along in an area here where there's a lot of birds. And of course nesting time, so we have baby birds. Oops, trash. Up. Right over here, big old plastic something. I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not. I'll roll right over here and get that. Okay, there's an alligator over here. Looks like a little guy, maybe, I don't know, hard to tell from here, 4 feet long or something. And I'm going to try to sneak up on him. What's going to happen as I get closer is he's going to probably disappear under the water. But I'm going to see how close I can get here. I have to row really, really gently. See what I can do. Here he comes. Comes right to me here. I didn't mean to scare him. Okay, I'm just doing a little video here showing you the camera mount on my kayak. I have an inflatable kayak, so you can't mount things on the actual boat very well. There's no hard structure. So I used some PVC and created a little structure here. Some elbows down at the bottom, add a little friction so it won't slip to the left and right. And this little pipe here for a tube, 3/4 inch, will move up and down so I can shoot high or low on the water. And of course the camera itself can be twisted left or right. So it's real handy for just getting a little bit of a video or take a photo. I usually keep my D10, my waterproof camera, on there, which is what I'm using right now to photograph my other Canon, the SX210, which is really great. It has a lot of zoom, but it's not waterproof. And sometimes when I'm in the muck, I get a little bit of splashing. And when I say muck, I mean water, hyacinth, and other vegetation. Some water gets splashed around. I don't want to get the camera wet. So it works real well. And that little structure there on the front of the boat is for my long poles and grabbers when I'm collecting litter. Keeps it from sliding off the nose of the boat because the poles are so long. My boat's only a little over 9 feet.
And we'll finish up with a few photographs of some wildlife, mostly birds, turtles, alligators. You don't have to go off into the wilderness to see all this. This is in your local parks here in Florida. Especially if you can get yourself a boat, especially a little canoe or a kayak. You can enjoy all of this beauty up close and personal. And it'll change the way you feel about things. And it's good for the soul, not to mention good exercise. This kayaking in the river has become a bit of a passion for me. Picking up litter is, of course, part of it, but seeing this up close, this beauty, is made me a much happier person. Hope you enjoyed this video.